This series was co-produced with HMP Berwyn and funded by the National Lottery Community Fund.
Hey there, welcome to this episode of the Recovery Hub podcast by Eternal Media. I'm Luke, and in this episode you're about to hear a conversation that took place in the Recovery Factory in Berwyn Prison. It's a conversation between myself, Chris, and another Luke. For context, Chris was finishing his sentence later that month and was planning on entering rehab. He talks about the excitement and the release he feels from a recent wave of negativity. Okay, that's enough of an intro, and into the conversation we go.
I came over and I was a bit negative, yeah. I was like, no, I'm not going in there, I'm not focusing on down and all this, yeah. I thought, hold on, them are not my thoughts. These are what other people are projecting onto me about this. I'm focusing on my own recovery, my own journey, and I'm taking on other people's crap, yeah. And I thought it's like an analogy for prison life itself, that there's a big etheric cloud over prison, yeah. It's negative environment, and you get little glimpses of positiveness and that and uplifting, but mostly it's negative, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, I noticed that it did get into me. Their negativeness touched onto me, like, so it got me thinking about, is there like this negative cloud over jail? And I think that there is, you know, whether it's a metaphor or it's actual really there, you know, like in some form of reality, yeah? So when you get out, are you just excited that you're free from prison and you can go back to what it is you were doing? Or is there a metaphysical reality to it where you are lifted from this cloud of negativeness? Am I making sense? You know what I mean? It's like, I just think, so I came in here, and I'm usually a positive person, right? But I'm thinking, I'm not going in doing a podcast, not doing this. No, I feel okay now, but at first, I wasn't. I've had to go and have a few coppers and have a word with myself. Literally, have a word with myself, yeah? Why being like this? And so it's like, you know, whoever you're around as well, you can attach to what it is they're putting out, and you're surrounding yourself with negative people, you're going to get contaminated by it.
Yeah, do you feel that too?
Yeah, I do. There's a lot.
Not as much as other people, but it can be impressed upon by other people. So easily led, a bit like myself, at one, and I still am easily led, to be honest. So that's why I find that I've got to surround myself with like-minded, positive people, which is hard in this environment, but I'm setting myself up for a release to do that.
And but the same, like prison situation, yeah. But same can be happen out there. If you depending what area you go back to and the people I'm around. Do you know what I mean? Then that just leads back to this, going back to prison.
Yeah. Tell me about the environment that you were in before being in Berwyn.
On and off for 12 years, I lived in Blackpool. Also I moved to supplying Class A.
Yeah.
But I was taking drug at the same time, so I was living pretty of an hectic life.
Yeah, so I take it when you're in the situation of being a supplier and dealing, that like a lot of the people around you are going to be, you know, they're going to be in addiction themselves, and they're going to.
No, that's what I've. I first started in 2014. That's when I first started selling the Class A's. I never used to even take it, but I'm a bit mad how I've ended up selling it and taking it, because from the age of 7, my mum was on it, and I've been around that kind of. We didn't live a bad lifestyle, do you know what I mean? We didn't go with the odd little thing, but mainly I always got what we always wanted. It was always looked after and stuff like that. And even before I come in, when was the first time I started using? The Class A was in 2018. But considering my stepdad died from an overdose as well, so I'm surprised that I actually.
Things around it,
yeah. Well, I thought, I just didn't. I wouldn't. I was one of the things. I was not anti it, but because seeing the way it kind of ruined my mum's life a little bit, and also I'm set died of it. But then, like I said, I ended up getting around people that used to be customers become friends. Before I knew it,
coincidences.
Yeah. Before that, I'm one of them. I don't. I can't just people like some people out there when they sell it, like they look down on people like just grab your money and like fuck off and speak to you like shit. With me, I wouldn't. I'm a people person. I used to always fucking there for about 20 minutes. My phone would be ringing and I'd be like fucking. I need to go now, but I'm talking to people and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know.
Lifestyle fooled you in, doesn't it? And it does.
But Blackpool's a bad place. Or any place where you go, you know, there's always get dust, can't you? Do you know what I mean? But
Blackpool's like, it's a resort, innit? So that pulls you in, the fact that it's got roller coasters.
But 3 times. Oh, it ended. I know now. We're going back. Every time I've got out, I've gone back to Blackpool straight away, and it's always led to coming back to prison 3 times.
Yeah.
So
people in recovery, they go and they take themselves outside of their like where they would normally be returning to, and then they have an environment where they can actually have a recovery community.
Yeah.
Because you don't necessarily have a recovery community even when you're in recovery, unless you are quite fortunate to, you know, have that network around you when you leave, you know, Berwyn, for example.
Well, community's like, it's not something that just happens, is it? You've got to invest in it, I suppose, to be part of a community.
And you've got to build it sometimes. If it doesn't exist, you know, for some people, you just got to build it from scratch.
I've actually been in a place from under Acorn in Rochdale. That was like a recovery homes kind of thing. We used to obviously go there, like we'd have our own room, and then we'd like Monday, I think it was Tuesdays and Thursdays, we used to do a group session. But other than that, we used to get up in the morning and like, for instance, we'd all have like you have a rota for the week. One would be doing like mopping the stairs, someone would clean the front room, someone would clean the kitchen, do stuff like that. But when I was there, I'll be open and honest, I used it more of a get out of, because I could got my tag to there just before COVID. And I wasn't 100%, I didn't really want it. And when I sat there with people like preaching, is it anyone and going about God and this, that, the other, I'm never going to do this, I'm never going to do that. And I've had people sat in groups talking about stuff like, yeah, I'm not going to do this, but and it'd be, I was talking about going scoring or this, that, the other, and it's just like, wow. Yeah. And I was, one day I was in the group and just coming to my NV and I'll be open and honest, I'm not ready for this yet. There's no point in lying. I'm taking a space for someone else, where someone else who could definitely want it. His thing is, so I was open and honest with him, and when my tag ended, I came out of there. But at the moment, I'll be honest with you, I've got 14 months left. I don't even know where my head's at. But when it comes closer to the time, say give it, so obviously you need time to get things put in place. But give it, say, the last 6 months.
Like on that line of contemplation, where you're thinking about recovery, or do I need it or do I not, right? And like when you're in the house, who's on that line, right? If you'd have been around the right people, then it'd tip you over the needing it, hearing people talking about recovery and then contradicting themselves outside.
And going out,
that. Don't get me wrong, like, I'm leaving Bolton because everything I know over the past 30 years, 35 years has been around addiction, so pretty much my whole life in Bolton will be involved with that. I can change, but nothing else. People, places, situations, all going to be the same, right? So I've got to take myself out of that environment and get myself into another community and not another environment. So what I'm doing, going rehab. But don't get me wrong, it's like a magnet, it pulls at you, because all my memories are from my memory, from my past, and all my past is in Bolton. So I have no other memories other than my life in addiction. So any memory I call upon is to do with addiction, to do with that lifestyle, right? So it's not all been bad. I could say 90% of it has, but those little good bits, those memories that you've got that are good, will pull you back.
There's always most of the time like I said, it's a bad outcome.
Why do we go back to it if it's that bad?
I've had some right laughs.
Because we go back to it because we feel ourselves to say that it'll be different this time. And I don't want to use that cliche, the definition of insanity, doing the same things all again, but It is, we fool ourselves with it, but different this time because we want to do it differently. But it's never differently, it's always the same, just tweaked a little bit. Well, I want to see this person, I want to see that person.
I know how when people see you around your safe when you do get out, people see in your own town and everything else, and you see you doing well, then there's nothing more but they'd love to pull you back down.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, you're doing well, but yeah, do you want this?
Yeah.
You know, if anything, if it was your friends or whatever, they say, right, yeah, give you shake your hand and all that, but if you but yeah, just like distance yourself and not try and pull you back into that kind of circle.
I want to be around different type of people who don't want to do that, who want the best from it. To live my best, my grandest version of me, I need to take myself away from my home environment and start again somewhere else. I need to build up from scratch a whole new circle of people. So what a rehab I go to, whether it's in Lancaster or Wirral, I'm going to meet a whole new bunch of people who, when I get to know, some will stay, some will go, some will pass through, but I think everything will be there for a reason. Everything happens, and it happens when it's supposed to happen. And I've had to go through this 20 years behind my door, 30 years in addiction, causing chaos and misery to everyone and myself included. I've had to go through that to get to this place. I maybe didn't have to go through all that, but I have been through my life, so there's no point in regretting the past. It's the past and nothing I can do about it. So yeah, I've just had enough of being in jail, causing misery to people.
You're ready, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're just ready, aren't you?
Totally ready, totally well and truly.
Yeah. That was the difference between yourself and Chris, that, you know, earlier when you were in that community that you were talking about, you just knew you weren't ready.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I was open and honest with it. There's no point when I'm pretty, I don't know, I do tell the odd little lie here and there, but no, do you know what I mean? Everyone, you can't see we're all fit, but I've done them with stuff like that. It's like, it's your life, innit? And generally, like, yeah, I just open and honest with it. And then obviously, as soon as I come off and went back to my mum's, but I'd done well. And then I get this mad idea in my head, I'll go back to Blackpool. And before I know it, back selling.
And it's like returning to those stomping grounds is the trigger in a way, isn't it?
Yeah, it's big, big.
Yeah, but is there something in your mind, like, that's something that triggers the thought of returning there before you even get there? Like, because it's like one thing to be, you know, you don't just land in Blackpool, do you? You have like a thought about, okay, let's go there. So it's like, is there like anything that triggers that thought of like, oh yeah, let's go there, and then you go there?
That's always the only thing. What's
stress in it? Is it like you're in jail, and now you're thinking, when I get out, what am I going to do?
I just think about it. I've always got marvels, yeah, we're going with money, but the money comes with, like, the misery comes with the money, and then the money turns into me just flat out. I don't make money. I just sell £2,000 worth of stuff a day. But I'm telling you now, you probably make it £1,000, and I'm just out, just smoking it all.
Well, listen, this is what you've got to learn.
And then you have these imaginary friends what come around you. Everyone wants to be your mate and all that. And then when you come to a place like this, it's not even a postal order you offer. Do you know what I mean? It's just nice to put pen to paper now and again to someone, even though, do you know what I mean? And people, and then when you come back out again, like, nah. And like the last 12 years, I've been away from my family. I've been with the kids' mum and then kind of like done my own thing. But like this time now, when I get out, I've got my sisters and my mum and my two kids now, and they're at that age where they realise, like, one point, Dad used to work on a boat. When they was younger, they used to come to see me on visits and stuff like that. Where we now? Yeah, that's what you said. Dad's working on a boat, and then, but like coronations, like normal telly these days, you get to see a lot of prison things on there. And then my son's like, my dad don't work on a boat. It's in prison. And then everything, like, and like now they're at that age where I've had to be thinking open with him and stuff like that. And I can't do it to myself, but I've missed 7 years of my kids' lives. And then even like to now, I've got grandma's. He's been like my mum from being young, and I've always, like, even the oldest grandson, I've always had it. She always gets me. If a grandma needs a car or I need like something wrong with the car, she'd always pay for it and stuff like that. And she's always been there. And then the last couple of weeks she's been in and out of hospital, and then like today I've just spoken. Like on Friday I spoke to my sister. She said she's got up to 3 months left to live, yeah. But I'm spoken to my sister today. She said, oh, you never trying to say now in the hospital, she might not even last a week. And I'm telling you now, in like on the previous sentence, in Hindley, I was allowed to go to my grandma's funeral, but this place seems to be a lot different. And
but you're looking at things before they've happened. Right? I know you say it's inevitability, it's going to happen, but don't start demonising, looking at the worst case scenario that you're not going to let you go. It's just,
I'm waiting for trouble.
What is now?
But that's one of the things like that, they're the important things. And even all the time, I'm just missing out on important, valuable time with my family and stuff like that. And I wouldn't mind, if I didn't have a family, kids what cared about me and stuff out there, I'd do this all day, come to jail. It's just the older I'm getting, the older my mum and my kids are getting, it's just making me realise there's more to life than this. And one of the main causes is obviously drugs, and then it spirals from me taking it, and I'm a greedy. But I can't just have a little bit. I'm greedy, so I end up selling the drug I take just so because unlimited supply, kind of not unlimited, but that kind of thing.
The thing is, you get out, right? Say you go back to Blackpool or your own environment where you've been.
Masking to see if you can't stop anything, but I'm masking to have restrictions, put them in from license to not be allowed, like certain things in place. But
take yourself out of it.
I'm not going. I can't. And not only that, I've got my sister as well. I've got 5 sisters, but one sister out of them all. Like every time when I go back, every time I ring her, she answers the phone, and she's even said, "Bobby, if we go back this time, I'm washing my hands with you." Because even just like, out of anyone in my family, I can ring them all. My mum takes, it's a bit of a nightmare to get all of them now and again, but when I ring my sister, no matter what, every single phone call I'll ring, she's there. Can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do it? Do you know what I mean? And no matter what she does, it helps me out royal. But
she's older than you?
No, younger. But there's only so much they can take before they're going to give up. And
yeah, exactly, yeah. The money dries up, love doesn't, they'll always love you, but after my 3rd sentence, I stopped asking my mum and dad for money, or I didn't stop asking, just stopped getting it.
I just need to get obviously when since I've been in here as well, I've done a business course, and before I got back into work, when I first got out in 2020, I set up a painting decorating business just through Facebook. It wasn't properly legitimate and stuff like that. Doing well with it. I want to go back to, I need something like that. That's my plan. I want to go back out and set my painting decorating business up properly. I want to do that.
Well, do that. What's stopping you doing that?
There isn't nothing stopping me. I just need to. I have these mad little brainwaves of like.
So when you say that's what I want to do, it needs to come a time where you're saying this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm doing. Not what I want to. I'm doing this.
I've got, I wouldn't say options, but I've got a few. Like, it's going working with my dad and stuff like that. And that's another thing. I've only just got back in contact with dad after about 7 or 8 years.
You just need to make plans. Have a positive.
But I don't want. Unless it's like my plans. Obviously, this is why I want to leave it. I'd rather leave it till I've got, say, my settlement window, and then start getting things put into place then, and see where my head's at, see how I'm thinking then. Because even to like my daily drug use, to a point, but I've gone I'll be flat out on it for 2-3 months, but then also I can go 2-3-4 months without it. Do you know what I mean? So it's...
when you have plans in our... we all have plans in our lives, don't we? And for me, the way that I work my plans is that it's I find it really useful to write down what I have to do and have to-do lists, and it's you break it all down. It's it helps me keep a record of it so I don't have it all jumbling in my head. I don't know, do you use something similar? I
used to do that on a daily basis, things that I needed to do that day, just put a little square next to it to tick.
Yeah.
Tick boxes. But I don't know, this sentence I didn't do that, but I have it on previous sentences where, although I've not wrote it down this time, it's been when I came in last November with a street habit. I just needed to be on a script, so I was that ill. So I got put on my scripts, and then as soon as I was on it, within 2 weeks I decided I want off this. So I did the reduction. That's took 40 odd weeks. I got off it, and then but before I come off it, I started selling me SMS work. I want to go to rehab. I need to do something different. So I think this time I just came to a realisation. I knew I needed to come to jail, so I was committing crime out there. And I just kept saying to myself, I need to go to jail, make you a detox. Never actually wishing it on myself, but just thinking I probably need a jail sentence. And careful what you do wish for, because you get what you ask for sometimes, and it might not be always what you want, but in this case it was what I needed. Berwyn's not my local, it's first time in Berwyn, and it's kind of a shit to say. Been to, right? There's not much in
Wishing I
place.
could be on my first sentence, I would have thought about it.
People keep going on about facilities. It's got good facilities.
It's got nothing.
It's got no different facilities than any jail's got.
Oh, we got a shower in your cell, and it's just about. You might as well get a cup of water and pour it over you.
But I forsake the facilities as such for a jail that's run well, that has some recovery. But anyway, I'm moaning about that, but I've achieved what I've achieved within here. So, and I think you've got to go through some bad shit in your life to realise you're not comfortable in the shit that you're in. You know what I mean? So I've been in Forest Bank sailing through jail and easy. It's not been no deterrent coming back. So I come to this place, realise that this is not my comfort place anymore. This is not my safe space. It happens for a reason. I think things happen for a reason. And this is why it's happened to me. I've come here, come back to jail, because it's exactly what I put out there. I put it out there to the universe, and I said I need to go to jail. So I went to jail. I need to get clean, so I got clean. I need to go rehab, so I went rehab. Everything I put out there is kind of coming true because I've manifested that.
Yeah, you need to give yourself credit as well for all of what happens as well. I think that's important, isn't it? Because, you know, if you're not crediting yourself for, you know, it's like you say, yeah, I'm manifesting it and it's coming to me, but it's like, I don't know, it's like the way you perceive manifestation, I guess, is like,
Okay.
do you give yourself credit?
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, that's good then.
Change
Yeah.
has got to start with yourself, hasn't it?
Yeah.
You've got to come to your own realisations and put down what's needed. Right, I need to do this, I need to do this, and then get inspired into action, innit? And that's what's happened. I've been inspired into action. Through Berwyn. Through Berwyn, I've been inspired right into action. So I've got to say, it's been right in my path of recovery as Berwyn. Never would have thought it. But yeah, it's only in a crisis where you can find the opportunity in it.
It was like this classic rock bottom story, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's like, you know, you just get to a point where it's just like, you just can't get any worse, can it? It just can't. And the only way is up from there. It's like, not to say that like people who always hit rock bottom, they it's immediately straight back up and they bounce back. Doesn't always happen like that.
You feel like a pebble across fucking pond skin.
Yeah.
You see, keep hitting rock bottom. You got a bottom. I've had enough rock bottoms. I've been on the balls of the ice a few times.
You know, before I came in, I was walking around picking dim sum and everything. I never, do you know what I mean? I just like, I used to go mad at people for doing that. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, that's because the Griggle list was 6. And then I'm like, wow, what am I doing here? And it's just, yeah, what's life come to? And that's the worst I've ever been. That is like,
I've been the lowest.
I'll have 1 minute, I'll be back in a minute, going around to local pubs, nicking the ashtrays. Oh, that's like, wow, what am I doing with myself?
We've done things like that. We've done things worse. We've shamed ourselves. We've judged. We've done things we never thought we'd do. And then we've gone worse. And we've gone one step further. We've hurt people. We've caused misery to ourselves, mostly to others.
Yes.
You know, we've been to wars.
One of the things that like come up today in conversation is people who they come back from that, no matter how far you go. Like, because when you think of yourself as being like the only person who's gone to that depth, and you think there's just no way I can swim back up, I don't know anyone else who's been in that position before who's made it back. But it's like, the moment that you start seeing that there's other people who've been to them depths and now they've made it back, and actually they're not just on the surface anymore, they've fucking managed to build a boat with wings and propellers and then now flying in the sky. You know? It's like, I don't even know what they call one of them boats, but like
I know.
You know what I mean? I think that's like such a key thing, isn't it? Is visibility about people in recovery who you see where, because you can sort of find people in recovery who you can, like, it's a common thing to compare people's recoveries, isn't it? And you think, okay, well, you know, you didn't have the same addiction as me. You didn't get as like.
We all think we're the worst. I'm going on an enemy and saying, you've got recovery, but you weren't as bad as me.
Yeah.
You weren't as bad as me. You weren't as bad as me. I am the worst addict. I am the worst. But that's why I'm still in addiction.
But then you find someone who's done worse.
It's done worse.
And it's like, how that is just like, you know, that is the inspiration.
At least somewhere on a party, and that's when you're resident people. You think, oh, yeah, you're just like me, but I'm still worse. I'm still worse. That's what you do. Well, yeah, so you can find inspiration from people like-minded, and then you can find inspiration from people you don't want to be like. I don't want to be like you. And I think that's possibly when you're on that path and you know what you want, and you put all your intention into getting there, and you know you're going to receive it, that nothing's going to set you off that path. So it's like divinely inspired. You meet people, positive and negative, on your way, and nothing, obviously positive will draw you forward, and the negative, it just draws you forward as well, because you're just inspired. I'm not going to be like you. So it's just affirmation.
From what I've heard, that's like one of the things that makes the most difference in the community aspect, because if you're all alone in recovery, you just don't get to see that aspect of it, and you know, you're really going to be white knuckling your recovery like every single day on your own, and it's
you're
like
left to your own devices, and your own mind, and that's what's got us using in the first place. 30 years my ego, I'll just start stroking me, see who'll score. You know, it's what it does.
But I really want to talk about your artwork in here, and you know, it's like, how did that come about? Like, are you an artist from years back?
No, I've always been able to draw. I think, you know, it's a talent, you know, I get from school, I think. But I've never ever channeled it. It's always been a jail thing. I only have the time. I've only got time for drugs when I'm regular, or chasing drugs. You know what's interesting is that taking drugs, say out of 24 hours, the taking of drugs probably wouldn't even amount to an hour. But the chasing it, the acquiring it, the finding someone to take you with, that's the other 23, right? So yeah, that's been my life. I've never had time to draw. I have done it a few times, but no, it's always in jail, and I always say, yeah, I'm gonna do something where we're getting to tattooing or what. And I always think I'm not good enough. I always just think, oh, someone else is better.
Stop it.
Yeah, but this is my ego now, right? Of saying that. But you can't draw, so you're gonna say that. Yeah? Someone who draws might not think I'm that good. But so what? Is what I'm saying now. So what about that? Yeah? But that is just what the ego does. It goes, someone who can't draw will say I'm good at drawing. And I don't think I'm that good. I'm okay, I can do, man. Do you know what I mean?
Nah, you are.
I just think I'm not good enough.
But when you do portraits and that, and just put them it's like side by side.
Yeah, I know.
Do you do any art or like anything artistic in any kind of way?
I was when I was a bit younger. I used to do bits of drawing and stuff like that, and the same again. I try and think back at if I got a hobby. Since the age of 12. Getting stoned and stuff, that's fucking weird and everything else, you know what I mean? So all these hobbies and things, when someone asks me, I haven't got an hobby or anything like that, because from the age of 12, 13, it's always been around smoking and selling drugs. From the age, that's what it is.
Everyone.
20 years, isn't it?
Everyone's got some form of talent, whether it be communication, smiling. A talent, you know, whatever. I think everyone's got a talent, yeah. Whether it's undeveloped and not been found yet, or it has, it's just not been channeled. So we find there's a lot of creativity within addiction. There's a lot of creativity within people. It's just pulling it out and finding it, and because we have such a low opinion of ourselves as addicts, people who've gone through it, that we don't do it with it. We just keep it in the back pocket until someone says, no, this is not something, you know. Yeah, but I think everyone's got a talent, and it just needs to be channeled the way we channel usually drugs and chasing drugs. We could channel creative enterprise in that same manner. We'd be well made.
You know, like you mentioned earlier that you did business
enterprise course.
Of course, yeah. So it's like when you were dealing, you know, there's lots of business.
I'm really,
I'm good at something good, aren't you?
Yeah, from never even running like my own little business to go into doing my paint and decorating. I had like 3 labourers going in, learned off a mate to price the job up. By the end of it, I was pricing the job up, and then you can tap in on Google and rough estimate. And do you know what? By the end of it, I was bang on with it. Even like getting time frames. I'm running a business on it. Do you know what I mean? I'm very business minded. So from selling and taking drugs, I want to turn it into something legitimate. And I've had a go of it. I had like 8 months taste of it. but just underpricing jobs to get my jobs and stuff like that. And that's where I went wrong, because I wasn't. Some weeks I'd come out with like 200 quid, and I'm giving my labourers like 300-400 quid each. And I'm thinking, how's that worked out? Do you know what I mean? That's not working. Do you know, that's not right. So I had a little brainwave, go back to Blackpool and make a bit of money to buy my van, go do it in a car and everything else.
And there's also the people skills as well. Like you were saying that, you'd talk to the people, that your customers, and you get friendly with them. It's like, there's a lot of people out there who they just don't have the communication skills to be able to, get to know people on that level in a way. And it's like, you've got that going for you.
Yeah,
as well.
even like most of the jobs I went in for, like quote jobs, like the quote jobs and stuff like that, 9 times out of 10, because the way I worded things and the way I spoke and knew about certain things, I taught myself into the job straight away before you even giving them the price. You know what I mean? They were just saying, right, it was a price and the job's yours.
And you're personal, and you're what's that word? Amiable and friendly. So
I'm a people person.
Not everyone has got that, so don't just take that for granted, because not everyone can relate to other people.
Would these be conversations that between the two of you would like kind of talk about, or is it, given we've created an environment around it that's like
exactly
made it come about?
Because you've created the environment that this is what's needed. You remember when I first came in, I was like, I had my jail head on. I was nervous. I said, I'm nervous. I don't want to go in that room and chat.
It's just when someone gets put on you, but I don't always.
And then I started talking to Luke over there, and then I said, yeah, go on, we'll go in and chat. And right now, I wouldn't mind if I was sat in that room with them other people. I think it's just that I came with my jail head on, and now I've got my recovery head on. And a bit like Wurzel Gummidge. Do you remember Wurzel Gummidge? I do. Just changed his head.
Alright, hope you enjoyed this conversation as much as I did. One of the things that struck me about Chris was how much of a leader he seemed to be. At one point, Luke opens up about how his mum had been in and out of hospital, and that she may not have long left to live. Chris was so quick to give solid support to Luke, and he was so confident and comfortable in doing so, that it really gives a feeling of hope for Chris as he leaves Berwyn for rehab. I sincerely wish Chris all the best in his recovery beyond Berwyn, and for Luke to stay strong in his recovery throughout the remainder of his sentence. Thanks for listening to this episode. We hope you've been enjoying the series so far and continue to listen through, where next episode we have Sam chatting with one of the men about his personal experience of recovery within Berwyn. This is goodbye from me for now. See you next time.